My Europe by Claire Wang-Lee. Granada. The road to Granada lined with olive groves and bitter oranges. Garcia Lorca's country and his poetry. The oil lamps, the horsemen, and the golden knives. 2 rivers, one was gold, one was silver. The water of sorrow ran forever. Valencia. The new architecture and the old. Calatrava and the city of bats of Paella, and the moon of Valencia. Berlin. The Berlin Wall was down, and the Brandenburg Gate and the Jewish Memorial Park. Over 100 museums. Pergamon, the oil painting museum, the old and the new, and the Linden Boulevard. And the zoo where its male elephant escaped in the bombing of 1942. My landlady in New York in 1958 told me many times she lived near the zoo. One male elephant got out. My landlady had seen him run wild on the streets. He was shot down to protect the safety of the local residents. In 1958, my landlady's fireplace mantel was full of small and big elephants in stone and bronze. When she died in 1985 of lung cancer, all the elephants went to the grave with her. Dresden. From the ashes a phoenix was born. It kept its bombed corner of the church, the bridge, and the Elbe River. Weimar. Thomas Mann was in the Hotel Elephant. He wrote about Goethe and Charlotte meeting again. They never did, but Goethe stayed in Weimar and built it into a cultural center, and Schiller, and Nietzsche, and Liszt. Leipzig. Bach was buried in St. Thomas Church in Leipzig, where he worked in his last some 20 years. Auerbach's Keller in Leipzig was as famous as the church. Goethe had said it as the first place that Mephistopheles takes Faust on their travels. Goethe stayed in Leipzig for 3 some years. Outside the tavern, there is their bronze statue. Tourists crowded themselves in front of the statue to touch the shoes of Dr. Faust for good luck. Left shoe or right shoe, the devil and Dr. Faust hold the fascination of people forever. Copenhagen. Walt Disney got his inspiration from Tivoli. Now his Disneyland is worldwide. The Little Mermaid is still in the harbor. Now, Hans Christian Andersen is on every child's bookshelf. I went to Karen Blixen's house in Rungstad. The bird was singing in the early morning. Her neighbor, a house gardener, took me to go see a Sette Limoges outside of the museum's window. She said it was Karen's most precious possession in Africa. Karen must be smiling somewhere up there to have a neighbor who knew her so well and was still tending her garden. Oslo. Vigeland's sculpture park showed his people, hundreds of them in stone and bronze. Nearby was the Museum of Winter Olympics. It was not hard to imagine the Viking longboats sail through the snow-capped fjords of Norway. Helsinki. The church in the rocks gives beautiful music, God's grace and tranquility. The young organ player was from China. He accepted the praise of the tourists with a humble smile. My friend and I bought all the leftover CDs in the basket. Stockholm. I made a special trip to the City Hall. Moy Yen won the Literature Prize this year. My personal guide was from Beijing. He explained the award ceremony in such detail. He and I were so proud, we didn't notice the other people were watching us in amusement.